Dwyane Wade has a son named Zion.
Don't cut his dick off, bruh.
So in an article in Time magazine, Dwayne said, when Zaya was born, we thought the same thing. Let's give her a ball and see if she's into it. But ever since she was about 3, we realized she wasn't. This summer, she told us she wanted to use she, her pronouns, and that she wanted to go by Zaya. Zion was now her dead name and should no longer be used. Zaya is 12 years old, by the way.
This is just political correctness running amok. Like, this is some crazy bullshit. Like, how can a 12-year-old decide for themselves, rationally, who they want to be, what they want to be? This is why there's all sorts of things put in place for children to not make decisions until they're old enough, till their frontal lobes are developed enough to make rational decisions. This is why they're not allowed to vote until a certain age. You don't want them drinking and smoking and all kinds of shit at a certain age. You know, at 12, I wanted to be like Reggie Jackson or some fucking body. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? I didn't grow up to want to be that. Whatever I was thinking at 12 years old.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that I wanted to do at 12 years old that I ended up doing as a full-blown adult. Nothing. Literally nothing. Like, all my hopes and dreams at 12 pretty much dissipated by 13.
Basically,
And I just want to say this. Now, this is not confirmed. This is a rumor and this is alleged. But they're saying that Zion/Zaya's nanny is a male. That Zaya, she prefers to be called Zaya. I'll call her Zaya.
I'm
Zaya
not going to say
had
her or Zaya. I'm going to say him, and I'm going to say Zion. The
Okay.
name he was given, because you can play all the fucking games you want, but at the end of the day, that's still a boy. Biologically. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck what you think you are. You are a boy. You're not
Yes.
going to ever have a menstruation. You're never going to have natural estrogen. You're never going to have eggs pass through your body. None of this shit. You can like all the girl shit you want in the world, and that does not make you a girl. This is just facts. This is not trying to beat up on anybody or downplay them or hate on them. This is just real talk.
Yeah. Allegedly, they've had a male nanny for, they're saying, 10 years or something like that.
Who the fuck does that?
Male nannies are very weird. Like, I've never even really heard of male nannies. I guess it's a thing they call mannies. And I don't know, maybe I think probably in the gay community it might be more popular if you have like two men who have a child, so they get a male nannies just to kind of
Yeah, keep
you
it
know,
all
keep the whole thing going. But
confusing.
having a male nanny is sort of weird. I'll be honest.
Oh, it's super weird.
Women, 99.99% of nannies are women. I don't know a lot of parents that would trust a man around their children, their small children, for extended periods of time like that. I just don't know, just period. Not even relatives a lot of times, like uncles and cousins. Like, most parents are like, nah. Parents, grandparents, that's it. Everyone else we're a little bit leery of. To have a complete strange man to come into your home and be around your children 24/7 alone, I don't know.
Let me tell you something.
I don't know.
I have 2 children,
Yes, a boy and a
a
girl.
boy and a girl, right? And I'm the oldest of 3 boys. Never in my life, and I love my brothers. I don't think they would ever do anything or no crazy shit like that. But never in my life did I send my kids, my children over there. Why? You know what I mean? Yo, go stay the night with Uncle Wise just by himself. Like, nah. He stayed, my moms, my grandmoms, shit like that. They can stay with them. You know what I mean?
It's generally safer to keep children around women than men.
Right. Now, one of my
as
brothers.
a whole.
One of my brothers, he had his wife, basically. And so that's a woman there. So if they stay, and then he got children and all of that. So you send your children over there, that's cool. But I wouldn't have even come to my mind to my other brother who's not married and all of that, you know what I mean, who's basically just single, to send my little child over there to stay even one night with him like that. And This is my family member who I love, who I trust. You see what I'm saying? So now somebody outside of my family, I'm trusting my children with a male, nah, that just don't fly right. And part of the danger is, let's keep it real, a man is a penetrator. You know what I mean? A man is the giver and the woman is a receiver. So the risk of this man trying to penetrate, whether it's a boy or a girl, would be much higher than a woman because she's not trying to penetrate anything. You know what I mean?
Right. And to be fair, I've interviewed a number of men that have been molested by their female babysitters.
Yes.
DeRay Davis lost his virginity.
Right, but that was also at older ages. I'm talking about babies.
He was 13 or something like that, but Bill Duke was molested by a female babysitter when he was a child, when he was 8 or 9 or something like that.
I was 6 or 7 years old. My sister and I, it was a babysitter we had that my parents trusted. And one day we were playing and we had fallen asleep with the babysitter. And we woke up to the babysitter touching us inappropriately, my genitalia, etc. And I'd never experienced anything like that. And neither did my sister.
It happens. 100%.
Right.
100%.
So what would stop somebody getting molested by the male babysitter?
Well, I think it's probably more common with males. When you look at child molesters in general, they're mostly men. I'm not proud of this fact, obviously, as being a man, but it is what it is. Our side is more fucked up when it comes to that. So I don't know. And once again, I'm going to say I don't know whether this is true or not. This whole thing might be, there's a video that was posted, but who knows whether it's a real video or there was just a friend of the family's one day, whatever. But if that's true, that kind of puts another piece in the puzzle.
Right. And that's kind of crazy.
And honestly, at 12 years old, you're not even having sex yet. You just don't know what you like yet.
Right. Even if you
You're
like
still figuring it out.
Even if you like traditional girl shit, that doesn't mean you want to have sex with men. You see what I'm saying? Like you just might like girly shit, but what ends up happening with some of these dudes is, since they like a lot of girl shit when they're younger, once they get into puberty, since they like what girls like boys. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So they now start to like boys because they like everything else that girls like. You know what I mean? So that's just one of the other things that girls like. Now, what I liked was a statement that I heard from, I think it was Young Thug of all people, where he said, God don't make no mistakes. Oh, man.
Right. But then he also said, God don't make mistakes, but hey, live your true self. He added that part too.
Right, but here's the thing. But hey, live your true self. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Your true self is who God made you to be. That's who your true self is. God don't make no mistakes. You were put here as a boy or a girl. Whether you believe in your mind that you're something else, whether you feel a certain way, could be manipulated by all sorts of outside forces, first of all, that you don't even realize. Again, we don't know what's in the formula. First of all, they call it a formula, Vlad. Like, think about it. Baby formula. So you don't know what's in the formula that can be inducing certain behaviors in certain children and not others. And there's all kinds of stuff. The things you come in contact with, the people you're... There's a lot of different shit that comes into play with all of this. My thing, again, God don't make no mistakes. And this whole thing about evolution, okay? Now, this is a whole other subject, but that theory of evolution is what allows people to believe that God does make mistakes. Because the premise is God created things in an imperfect, still forming way that's getting better as time goes on. And so, yeah, he made imperfect things that are becoming perfect and turning into something better than it was originally. But that's all bullshit. That's all bullshit. One species does not change into a whole other species. But that's a whole other conversation. But that's where the premise of thinking that God makes mistakes comes from.
Well, it's just interesting that Young Thug would make this comment, who's a cross-dresser himself.
Yes, well, that's what a lot of people say. And that's what kind of made it stronger, though.
Right.
The fact that he said it, and how people look at him sideways for the way he be dressing, but then he's like, yo, God don't make no mistakes, was pretty profound in a way.
Well, yeah, and if you really notice, Young Thug really doesn't do the whole dress thing anymore.
I haven't seen it. Because again,
I think, the
shock was gone.
Right. Well, the shock is gone, and I think ultimately, like, Young Thug had like a #1 album. His last album, So Much Fun, went #1. And listen, I've never interviewed Young Thug before. He showed up in one of my interviews that he did with his girlfriend, but I wasn't doing the interview. But Young Thug, I think, was trying to get as much attention to him as possible in the early stages. Look, I got this music, and if I want people to check it out, I have to troll. I have to get a lot of attention to me. I have to make the news.
Now you don't have to do that.
And some of that will spill over into people actually listening to the music and hopefully liking it. Now, Young Thug really can stand on his music. He doesn't have to stand on his antics. He doesn't have to stand on his beefs with anybody. He put out an album that was very well received. He was on, he opened up for J. Cole on his big tour. He's considered one of the big artists of today. And suddenly he's not wearing dresses anymore and so forth. I don't think that's coincidental. I think he knows, I did that, but it's not really what I'm about. And now that I'm actually now that I don't have to do that, I'm not going to.
But it also goes back to what I was talking about earlier. The soil didn't accept that skirt shit. The soil didn't accept it. So he couldn't keep pushing that shit when the people, like if all of a sudden he saw mad people following what he was doing, then he would have kept doing it. But nobody followed it. Nobody did it.
Nobody wore dresses. Nobody wore dresses that weren't already wearing dresses.
Because the soil didn't accept. The soil rejected those seeds. We said we're not going to allow that to grow. So that's where power to the people comes in. Like the soil is the people, okay? So the people decide what flies and what don't fly. And we ain't fucking with this Zaya and all that. I'm not calling that motherfucker. That's the little boy, okay? Period. End of story.
Well, Boosie chimed in and he went crazy.
Don't cut your dick
He,
off.
he
Don't
was
cut his
he
dick
was
off,
begging,
bruh.
yeah, he was begging Dwyane Wade not to cut his son's
And
dick
I'm
off.
with him. Don't cut his dick off, bruh. Because just like he said, later on, he said when he turns 16, the boy might fuck around and fall in love with a girl. And now you done cut his dick off. He made a mistake. He was confused. You know, hindsight is 20/20. Okay? A lot of shit. How many broads you thought you was gonna be with for the rest of your life? Where that broad at now? Where's the girl you was in love with in junior high school? Where is she right now?
Right.
You thought you was gonna be with her forever.
This is true. Yeah.
I thought I was gonna be with mine. She ain't nowhere around and I ain't thinking about her. Cause I'm a grown ass man. And I fucking forgot about that little kid shit.
Yeah.
Niggas want to be Power Rangers and all kind of shit when they was kids. I remember my son wanted to be a Power Ranger. You think he want to be a Power Ranger right now? Come on, man.
Boosie's comments got to the point where he was actually kicked out of Planet Fitness.
That's funny. And that's only because the manager there was gay or something. I don't believe that Planet Fitness has some sort of like across the board thing against Boosie and his comments. He said that the manager at the particular one he went to was gay and felt a type of way about his comments. I mean,
okay. Shout out to Boosie. Shout out to Boosie.
Shout out to Boosie. Listen.
Yep.
I agree with him.
Yep.